I want to wrap up today the third face of anger. We said that anger is an issue. We all have it. And we have three faces of anger. We have people that spew. We've talked about that. People who stuff it down. We talked about that. I want to talk about people who leak their anger. And my experience, quite candidly, is among Christians, this is probably the most common type. Many of us have been taught that anger is bad, it's wrong, we're not allowed to be angry, and yet we know we're angry. And so what we do is we have very subtle ways we express our anger. And leakers, here's the definition: we take our anger and we don't deal with it when it happens. We take it over to what we think is a safer playing field, and then we leak it out over here. Let me walk through what a leaker is, what the issues are, how to address it, and discover if you or someone you love is a leaker. And then we're going to talk about some very specific skills, whether you're a spewer, stuffer, leaker, to deal with anger in a biblical and righteous way. If you are a leaker, your message is that showing anger is bad. The reaction if someone says, "Hey, are you angry?" Well, not me. Well, maybe a little. Why are you afraid of anger? The leaker and the stuffer basically have the same issues. I mean, they've learned it's wrong, it's bad, they're fear retaliation, they think that, they're going to get in trouble, that it's not appropriate to ever express anger. But here's how they leak it. They don't follow through on their commitments. Sometimes they say yes, but then they don't show up. My son calls these flaking out on you. Some people, they make excuses, they procrastinate. They know exactly what you really want, and they know kind of what pushes your buttons, and they push your buttons. And then sometimes they play possum, but I'm helpless, I'm a victim, I can't do anything. And what they do is in these very passive, aggressive ways, and that they won't confront the issue, but they do things in ways that make you nuts, because so much of anger is we're trying to pay people back. It's really about revenge. And I have to confess, this was a big issue, and I didn't even know that I was angry, but I used to be one of the most sarcastic people in all the world. Now, I'm all for playing around and having a good joke and verbal sparring that's good-natured, but I will tell you, there's a lot of us, especially in the Christian community, that what we do is we don't have the courage to say things the way they ought to be said, and so we make jokes over here. And I was sarcastic all the time. And so when I wanted to get a message through to my wife or one of my kids or to a friend, it was always in a joke. It was always, "Hey, what about this?" And then if they said, "Well, hey, what do you mean?" And then you can always say, "Well, I was just kidding." And so if you use sarcasm a lot, I'd ask you to really evaluate, are you really angry? And does the sarcasm really get through and build a healthy relationship? Or do people really feel attacked? Or maybe they think, yeah, you're just joking. Well, let me give you the test of a leaker. Here's 10 quick questions. Just ask yourself, if you would count these on your finger, ask yourself, does this describe me or someone that I love? When I'm frustrated, I become silent, knowing it bothers other people. I'm prone to sulk or to pout. When I don't want to do a project, I can procrastinate or be lazy. Number 4, when someone asks me if I'm frustrated, I will say, no, everything's fine. There are times when I deliberately am evasive so others won't bother me. I sometimes approach work projects half-heartedly. When someone talks to me about my problems, I stare straight ahead and act like I'm not listening. I'm often sarcastic and hide my real hurts and feelings. I withdraw affection. Many couples, to be very candid here, is the way they pay back is they'll withhold affection or sexual intimacy from their mate. This breaks down relationships. We've talked about these masks of anger: the spewer, the stuffer, and the leaker. And what I want you to know now, we're going to shift gears, and we're going to talk about what's under that anger. We're going to learn in our next time together that anger is like a big iceberg, and the anger is a secondary emotion on top. It's what's underneath that anger, and we're going to learn how to identify it and to address it, to actually turn anger from a foe into a friend that the Holy Spirit can use to make you more like Christ.